That's a strong motivation from Anatoly Front. You're welcome to the conversation showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's federal capital city, Abuja. And my name is Merciful Ajinomo. To developments across Africa, leaders of the Economic Community of West African States will hold an extraordinary summit on Burkina Faso and Mali on Friday after military takeovers in both countries, Ivory Coast Information Minister said on Wednesday. And now the death of a 13-year-old girl in Liberia after she was allegedly raped by a 47-year-old man in the capital, Monrovia, has caused an outrage. And that's it on development across Africa. Now we give you updates. That's COVID-19 updates from across Africa. And after that, the big story. You can be a part of TOS TV Network social media community, and that is at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, to know what's happening in Nigeria and across Africa. And our YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe so you do not miss out on amazing content we have for you each day. It's the big story, the crux of the conversation. And this time our focus, of course, is matters arising on the front pages of newspapers this morning. Health workers unavailability, fuel subsidy and Nigeria security architecture. We have in the studio Dr. Moses Paul, an environmentalist and of course our analyst for today. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Good. Okay, so on daily newspapers this morning, we saw talking about health workers and their unavailability, talking about the migration, of course, and how it has affected the hospitals because they're not seeing staff, of course, to work. What's your take on that?
You know, sadly, again, I would say that the ideology that runs things in our country is a very big problem. You know, I know that the serving minister once said that we have in excess medical doctor. Incidentally, himself happens to be a medical doctor. If he was referring to maybe babalawos, like we call them, or spiritualists and religious doctors, then it will make some sense. But to look at our climate, where we have the combined, the ratio is set to, the ratio of a doctor to 1,000 people is put at 0.38 excess. I mean, if you have to attend to 10,000 people in a group, it's a combination of 20 midwives, nurses, and doctors. And the current minister would make a statement like that. This is where the problem is. When the thinking of governance and politics and very vital structures is this, it is always is a no-no. This is disastrous and dangerous, and this is why you see we can't even talk economy when the backdrop of the thinking is with the statistics that are available. A current minister would make that kind of statement. It is sad and dangerous. This is why, again, I'll keep saying the polity has to be changed.
Talking about changing of the polity, we do know that the big story here of course, talking about fuel subsidy and how it affects the average Nigerian, because, of course, the health sector is the Nigerians that are facing it the most. They're the ones that are bearing the brunt of the issues. What's your take on what is happening so far? And, of course, even on the security architecture of the country, we saw updates even from Kaduna State Governor this morning saying that over 300 people dead in 2 years. And now it's a time where, of course, this year people are planning for elections next year, and we're having these issues. How do we talk about development, and how would this get better is actually the question.
We still have to stay and hone in on this narrative, because at the end of the day, everything rises and falls on leadership. Talking about Kaduna, we saw what happened last week when the president visited. You can see the commotion, the almost cantankerous commotion that took place within the security of the president and that of the host governor. It tells you why we have the problem we have in terms of security in our country. I mean, it was a whole commotion between simple organization within the security architecture cannot even happen. How do we move forward? So this is again where you see why everything hones on the leadership. There is something terribly wrong. If the two parties, the security details of the president and the governor, are in commotion and fighting, what happens? This is why people die, and it's needless to even talk about, because this is what is going on. The thinking, the organization, the methodology, simple, basic detailing, we don't even have it at that highest. I mean, we're talking about are we really having this conversation? This is the security detail of the president. How it cannot be overemphasized. If we're having this, what about ordinary people like me and you? What about the people in the fringes? So this is why we have people dying daily in our country, and there is no attending to it, much less to provide solution and be able to move forward. We are in a very dire situation in our country, and the numbers are rising every day, and it's moving into every sector, and the country is actually not just derailing, it's going down. It's going downhill. Can you change? It can change, but it also will have to come with change of personnel, of people in critical areas. That happened. Did you hear anybody sacked? Like the saying goes, in China, people will hang themselves. In other climates, people will resign. But in Nigeria, the more we see those crazy data and crazy videos and crazy stuff happening, same people will parade themselves to take over the helms of affairs. That has to change. This is what has to change. This is what must happen for us to move forward as a people.
Okay, you talk about the change of mindset, a change of basically the leadership structure of the country. And now we know that just yesterday we had a report and update that we had the second poorest country in the whole of Africa. And of course, we know the statistics that surrounded our poverty ratio and so far. If we're having a change of leadership structure, how the average Nigerian would like to ask, what kind of miracle will take place? Because people have cried over time. We've had different change of government. We've had different people coming up, occupy these positions. So how would these people begin to prefer solutions, begin to bring about miracle? If we have the perfect person, the last time you came to the show, you spoke about the kind of personality Nigeria needs. And if we have that person, how will he begin, or how will she begin to manage all these things and begin to bring solutions that people can see and feel at this point?
You see, if a current minister would say that we have doctors in excess, which of course, I mean, we're right here in the capital city. Right here, the prominent hotel was where they held all the doctors who were being shipped out of this country. The mindset is still not any different from what happened during the colonial era. The white man didn't carry gun and chase in us and chasing the black man in his villages. No, the white man actually sat in the seashore in his boat, and you and I, our great-great-grandparents, went chasing after other tribes. They took after stubborn people who would not succumb, and they delivered them to the white people. It's the same thing that the minister is doing by that framework. And what can change? You see, if you see a problem, then all you're going to do is what? React to a problem. If you see a challenge, then you will fight to deal with the challenge. But if you see an opportunity, then of course the entire orientation is different. Our number, we're over 200 million people. That is sheer opportunity. Somebody is looking at a problem like, oh, we have too many problems we can't deal with the situation. I see opportunity. Our number alone can overrun any country. We can raise our military value to be able to it can be as strong as what we used to have in ECOMOG, when Nigeria rose up to deliver Liberia, to deliver Sierra Leone, and deliver all the other country. We have the sheer number of people, from intellectuals to hard young people, who can deal side by side with all the riffraffs of terrorism and banditry. We have them. until leadership, that's where the change of mindset is we're talking about. Where a current minister sees a problem and is telling us to ship out our doctors, they can be changed. But if you see an opportunity, leaders who see opportunities, Nigeria is, the opportunities are boundless, like air, like water, like land. If the thinking is not that of opportunity, it will see challenge and it will see problem. What we have right now are not even leaders who see challenge. All they see is opportunity. The youth are the problem. The youth are lazy. Doctors are too many. Those kind of leadership won't take us anywhere. They are no different from the slave fathers who sold their children and their people.
Okay, unfortunately we're out of time. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Moses,
you.
for coming on the show. And thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to the conversation. Don't forget, it continues every day, and you can also be a part of it. You know, our social media platform is right there on the screen. That is at TOS TV Network. My name is Merciful Ajinomoto. We'll see you tomorrow. I remain Merciful Ajinomoto again. Bye for now.